A few years ago, a friend of mine was getting into RC. He actually had a few like race kits and stuff like that and wanted a basher. So he asked me, what basher should I get if I'm just starting out? You know, I want something pretty good, not crazy expensive, super durable, of course. And I told him to get this, the Arrma Big Rock Crew Cab 3S at the time. That was the V3 version. And they just came out with this, which is the V4 version. So it's a 110 scale electric 4-wheel drive monster truck, and it's kind of the mini version of the 7th scale 6S Big Rock Crew Cab, which is a 6S truck. This is a 2 to 3S little guy. Sells for $350 here in the US. It is available now. I will have links in the description below if you want to pick one of these up, but it just got released. I am looking at this for the first time, so just want to go through it as well as take it for a drive. So quick stuff to go through. It does come with a nice little manual. Definitely a good thing to go through. Comes in different versions. So, you know, if you speak, I don't know, German, Spanish, stuff like that. A little technical pack. So, again, some extra information. How to, like, take apart the power module, the change the pinion, all that kind of stuff. Nice little parts diagram to show you everything that you might actually need, and then some option parts you can get. Radio is the SLT3 radio, has been updated for this guy, so it does have stability control, what they call a DSC, dynamic stability control, basically like a gyroscopic effect, help you to keep the truck going straight or whatever direction you have it steered in. It does have a couple different throttle limits, so you can have it 100%, 75 or 50% power if you want to cut the power, throttle reversing, steering, channel reversing. That little orange button is to set the 3 different levels of stability control. So you have off and then kind of a level 2, 3, and 4. Steering dual rate, which will minimize actually the steering throw. So if you want a little less steering travel, you can kind of reduce that, make it a little bit easier to keep straight. If you want sharper corners, you can crank that up. Throttle trim, which you always want to keep right there in the middle at that dot. Actually, I'll adjust it a little bit. Steering trim is whatever you need to get the car to go straight. It may not be exactly on the dot. That's totally normal. You just want to set so whatever you have to make it go straight when you got the steering wheel at neutral. 4 double A's, 2.4 gigahertz, nice little foam wheel. Pretty good radio overall. I know a lot of people think this is not that great radio. I think it's actually one of the best RTR radios, certainly out of the box, especially for more of a budget vehicle. Little card with some QR codes to get more information. 4 double A's for your radio, so you don't have to buy that. Nice little hex wrenches. So they actually come with pretty decent tools, 2 and a 2.5 millimeter hex wrenches, and then some really goodies here in the box. So this little tool is to adjust the shocks. It does have a little nut wrench for the wheel nuts. Preload spacers, so you can adjust the shocks. If you want a little bit stiffer, you can add preload clips. If you want a little softer, you can remove them. 12 millimeter metal hexes. So out of the box it comes with 14 millimeter hexes, but something I had mentioned in previous versions, I think on the V2 and V3, is that it's nice to get 12 millimeter hexes as an upgrade, so you can use sort of any 10 scale tire, monster truck tires, and it's nice that they include that out of the box. Arrma definitely does listen to their customers, takes feedback, and incorporates them as well. So not too many people I think mentioned that, but I certainly have in the past. So thank you to Arrma for including that now standard on these vehicles. Looking at the truck itself, the first thing you'll notice is the different body. It comes in this dark green, dark blue, as well as a matte black finish. They all have nice little graphics. So it's got like elevation change type of thing. The gold lettering is pretty cool. Fairly simple. Otherwise, looks to me like a bit of a Ford F-150 or something like that. The taillights there in the back, a little bit, I don't know, maybe Rivian-ish. Very heavy-duty bumpers. They go right up to the body. Pretty nice, tightly coupled body to the chassis, so it does prevent dirt from getting in. And it does look a lot like its bigger brother, the 6S Big Rock Crew Cab, which has this massive, roll bar here in the back, the massive roof skids, reinforced tail section, so that was an area that would definitely take a lot of damage on the old Big Rock. They've really tried to make the body super tough. So I have the Sentin, I actually have the whole 2 to 3S line. This is the 5th one in the line, and they all have extremely durable bodies. All these clipless bodies, it's not just that it's more convenient, but it actually is heavily reinforced. A lot of plastic, high impact areas definitely get reinforcement. So it doesn't just have 2 little buttons. You push that in, you pull this off. You can see all that extra reinforcement underneath. It does have sort of the shock absorber absorber here in the back. Here are the clips that tie into the body post on the shock tires. And then you can see even the windshield is fully reinforced. The back here with the roll cage, all that is reinforced. Even the front's got a nice little molded piece. So it has some nice details as well. Just like its bigger brother, it's got the foldable side mirrors, even molded details here with the windshield and all that kind of stuff. So pretty cool that the body is very heavy duty. You know, the Big Rock, more than I think the rest of the line, has probably the most scaled body. It is a little bit more expensive, but you kind of see why. Here's what the truck looks like. It is a standard 223S line. It's got the long chassis. It's a long wheelbase, still pretty wide. I think they're the same as like the Typhon arms, so they're offset pretty wide. All around tire, dirt, street, pavement, grass, whatever. It's kind of all around, not necessarily perfect in any condition. I think something like the Grant's got a little bit more of a dirt bias tire, but this is kind of an all around style tire. The chassis does come up quite a bit more than before, so everything is just kind of covered, so less dirt, air, whatever is not going to get into the chassis. It does have like wraparound skid bumpers here as well, so skid plates, bumpers all kind of integrated into one big piece. The bumpers feel super stout, so they are heavily reinforced with these massive shock absorbers here, front and rear. So aluminum A, B, C, D blocks, so that's nice to help keep the hinge pins in place. They did also make a lot of other upgrades, so a lot more metal on this than before. It's got the adjustable steel turnbuckles with now metal hollow balls, metal input gears here in the ring and pinion. So the ring gear is still plastic. You can upgrade that to metal if you want, but the input gears, which is kind of the main area that would wear out faster, is now metal or steel. The center drive shaft has been reinforced, so it's a little bit heavier duty than before. Just have this nice little protector here on the side, so your battery shaft and stuff aren't rubbing against the drive shaft or getting rocks in it and stuff like that. Motor's all new, 3100 kV motor. It has a big, massive fan that's bigger than before, bigger heat sink, new 2-in-1 ESC and receiver combination, so it is 80 amps. It has both controls for the radio already integrated, and then the ESC itself is also integrated with the stability controls. It's all one unit. If you want to switch out the radio, you would have to change out the ESC, or vice versa. You change out the ESC, you would need to change out the radio. Pretty good servo overall, 25 tooth. They did redesign the servo horn to accommodate that 25 tooth servo, so that is an improvement. Main other big area that's been improved is the center differential. The old one had a slipper clutch with the plastic gear spur. This is all metal center differential. It is tunable. Again, like I mentioned, a metal spur gear, and so it is, you know, adjustable. Should corner a little bit better, just should handle a little bit better, so that is an improvement. Battery straps have been modified slightly. They do have kind of this cover or clip that will hold your wires and, you know, battery cables in place. It does have a receiver box, so if you decide to go with a different receiver, it does have a place to mount it. Just overall, you know, nice improvements. Shocks have been redesigned slightly. They do have threaded rod ends. Quite a bit actually has changed from the V3s. And yeah, next thing we got to do is go out and drive it. All right, we got the Arrma Big Rock 223S BLX V4 out for its first run. Got a Gens Ace Advanced 3S pack, 5300 milliamp hour battery. I did bind it to my IXSR radio, so this is a nice little update they have for all the current Spectrum radios, where you can bind up to any of the SLT vehicles like the 223S line, either the 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, or even the Grom. So pretty cool little update. I was not expecting that. I didn't even know it was possible. I thought maybe they might have a different chip, but yeah, you can run any Spectrum car now with any current Spectrum radio. If you got an old Spectrum radio, it might not have the update, but yeah, pretty cool little thing. So I did set the ESC, you know, I bound it, of course, calibrated it. Pretty quick, I gotta say. Thing is pretty dang quick. I think traction not too bad on this kind of slightly damp day. Oops. Oh, jeez. It needs a little more damping there in the rear. Definitely step a little more softly. Very good steering. Today, very good traction. flip. Apologize for the sun. Just that time of day. Oops. Oh, jeez. Oops. Didn't rotate as fast as I thought. I think the last car I drove was my Granite, so. A little bit of different angle. Kind of crazy looking angle. I will say that. Body doesn't pop off, I'll say that. Well, pops off a little. Snap that on. That was full trigger. A little bit off course. I'll say it rotates a little different than it did before. Definitely stay on the throttle. It's not got quite the rotation that you think. Nice brakes though. Well, there you have it. First run of the Big Rock 6. Sounds like my fan is starting to go. Yep, just like my, I think it's my Granite, the fan was starting to go. I'm probably just going to remove the fan. I don't think these things need a fan, but yeah, pretty successful. Chassis looks good. Shocks, everything looks pretty good. Shocks are pretty soft. I would say maybe go up to like 700-800 CST shock oil weight. Yeah, a little bit under damped, so that will be something to do, because I do launch this thing pretty big, and out of the box I think it's set up a little bit more for softer stuff. But body looks good, no damages. My mirrors didn't even fold in or anything like that. Yeah, I think these new bodies on this whole 3S line are quite durable. Yeah, power's good, its brakes are good, it's very linear, very smooth, very easy to drive. Long wheelbase definitely makes it a little bit more compliant on the ground. In the air, it does not rotate as quick as the Granite, which is just like a little stunt truck. But yeah, easy to drive. I think just a great all-around truck. If you're new to RC, want something kind of in that 3S line, kind of a do-everything type truck. I mean, you could put road tires on this, drive it on the street. You could obviously bash it like I do. Tires were not too bad, actually. Today's a pretty nice grippy day, and these are more of an all-around tires, but they hooked up pretty good. Standard diff works well. Yeah. Oh, I did not try the stability control, so that was all with stability control off. But yeah, it can only help, of course. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe buttons. Look for more videos soon. Thanks for watching.